Well, New York's Court of Appeals has just denied President-elect Trump's request to halt sentencing in his New York case. This is the highest court in New York State,
paving the way for Trump to be able to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. Judge Andrew Napolitano is here, Newsmax senior judicial analyst. We continue. It really is day by day with this case, the sentencing on Friday. Walk us through where it is today.
Well, when President Trump appealed to the Supreme Court yesterday, the court was, in my view, prepared to reject that appeal because the highest court in the state of New York had not yet ruled. A few minutes ago, it did rule, and it denied it. So the trial judge has said the sentencing is going forward. The intermediate appellate court has said the sentencing is going forward. The highest court in the state of New York has said the sentencing is going forward. There's only one conceivable appeal remaining, and President Trump's lawyers have filed it, and that's before the Supreme Court of the United States. Rarely does the Supreme Court of the United States interfere in a state court criminal proceeding. There is actually a federal statute that prohibits them from doing so. However, Trump's lawyers have quite properly gone through the full system, and this is his last shot, and they're going to take it. Will there be oral argument? No. The papers are due even as we speak. The justices will get together this afternoon, review the papers, review their notes, come to a decision. It'll be announced probably later today, because this sentencing is scheduled for your watch, our watch, 9:30 tomorrow morning.
I was going to say.
Everybody needs to know before then if they need to be in the courtroom, except for Donald Trump, who has permission to appear at his own sentencing if it happens remotely.
Yeah, running out of time, right? Really running down the wire.
Figuratively and literally running out of time.
What happens, though, at SCOTUS? Now they're looking back into this case. How does their ruling on presidential immunity even play into this?
It's hard for me to predict what they're going to do. If they follow their own decision on presidential immunity, they will reject his appeal, because all of these events that form the basis for the conviction either occurred before he was president or were personal things that he did. They were not core or official functions of the presidency. Yes, he signed some checks to Michael Cohen while he was in the White House, but that was a personal event. It was not core, meaning authorized by the Constitution. It was not official, meaning authorized by a federal statute.
Is there a moment where, again, this would just be from experts like yourself that we've spoken to, called this out, that this is political? There is no consequence again with this charge. He'd be called a felon, but that is it. He wouldn't face jail time. There would not be punishment, as we talked about. The Supreme Court justices, would that be able to run through their mind? Obviously, they have to run through the gamut of the legal process, but do you think they'd be looking at it that way?
Trump's people have argued persuasively that the whole thing is political. And the three of us have been discussing this for a couple of years, going back to when he was first indicted, that the indictment was political. Crime in America is defined as having a victim and there being harm. There was no victim, there was no harm. But the state of New York still considers this, what they call improper bookkeeping, to be criminal. Will the Supreme Court of the United States say this is a bunch of political falderall and we're not going to have anything to do with it? That would harm Trump if they did that. Then they would deny the appeal. If they were to decide that this is an attempt to impair the presidency of the United States under the Constitution, they'll grant the appeal, which will either say no sentencing or the sentencing is put off until January of 2029. Who the heck wants this thing hanging around for 4 years? But that's what they could do. I don't think they will nullify the conviction, because Trump's people haven't even asked them to do that. And as for the conviction, it's just a piece of paper. If the sentencing goes forward, he's going to say, okay, you're a convicted felon. There's no fine, there's no jail time, there's no probation, there's no conditions. Goodbye, Mr. President. Good luck to you.
Wow. All right. Supreme Court involved. We'll find out later this afternoon what happens next. Otherwise, we'll be watching tomorrow morning for the sentencing of the president-elect. Judge will walk us through that when it happens. So thank you very much.
Don't get sick.
I know.
We need you tomorrow.
We need you. Best of health.
Don't go out late tonight.
All right. It's bitter cold. Who's going out?
That's true.
Indeed.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.